Hey y'all, we're ready to make our big pizza. My son gave me this big pizza pan, cast iron. It is heavy. Let me do some exercises. I'm gonna set it to the side. We're gonna make our dough first to put on here, and sounds like it's really easy. So let me go over it with you. We've got 1 pack of this yeast. It comes in a 3-pack thing, but here's 1 pack. And I have got a 1 1/3 cup of warm water. So you open up the yeast, put it in your warm water, stir it around, and leave it about 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. Well, let me cut it again. Let's see what the problem is here. There we go. All right, take our yeast. Put it in our warm water. Stir it up. So leave it about 5 minutes, okay? Be about 15 after then. About the time you get your other stuff done, that's what it'll be. Okay, all right, there we got that. All right, so here's, I've got my mixer out with my dough hook on it, but it said that you could do it by hand. So if you don't have one of these, don't even worry about it, okay? Don't you worry your pretty little self about it. The first thing we're going to do is put in our flour. And so this is white lily, all-purpose flour. That means it's not going to rise except for that yeast that we're going to put in it. Now I have laid that in water. That was my only recipe I had. I hope it dries and I hope I can do it. All right, so we're going to put 3 1/2 cups, 3 1/2 cups of flour in this bowl. I'm gonna move that because I don't want it getting wet. And to that, we're going to add some stuff. Not much, but we're going to add some stuff for our dough. And we are going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Let me make sure that that's 2 teaspoons. 1 and 2. That didn't look like 2. Let me get this a tad more, because that didn't look like I measured right. That didn't even have my spoon done. There we go. All right, now then 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, I think it is. Let me check and make sure. It sounds like it's going to be really easy to do. Two teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Well, I got it backwards. Well, this one's going to be a little sweeter than normal, isn't it? 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, here we go. 2 teaspoons of salt. 1. 2. Okay? Let me get us a little spatula or something up here to stir with, because I know we're going to need it. All right. Now, we're going to put some herbs actually into our dough. So that's going to make it really good. And one of the herbs that we're going to put in is oregano. Won't that be good? Have y'all, when y'all go out to eat a pizza, sometimes do you order the breadsticks? I bet this dough's going to taste kind of like those breadsticks. That's what I bet. We'll see. If I have any dough left, I may just use it in there. All right, so let's put some herbs in there. All right, so we're going to put basil, oregano, and rosemary. So here we go. We're going to put a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of basil. I wanted to use fresh, but they didn't have any. I'm telling you, things are looking poor at the grocery store. Their celery was, I needed it, but I'm telling you, it was awful. All right, so this is basil, and a teaspoon of that. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of the rosemary. And what I'm going to have to do is just cut some off of my little rosemary. I cut it off real little into this little measuring thing here and just put just a little bit. There we go. Because it's got all those old sticky sticks on it, which you don't want. I can't believe I had to buy this, but mine's had it. Let me finish cutting this. Okay, y'all, I think I about got a teaspoon of this. I've cut off. I put it in a tablespoon, but it's just a teaspoon. See there, of your rosemary. All right, it's been 5 minutes. So after you get these items together, then we're going to pour this in and let it go around in here. Mix those herbs up just a little bit. All right, now we're going to put this in. Make sure we get it all out because that's got that good yeast in it. Sure does smell good. I like the smell of yeast. Okay. Come over here and look down in our bowl so you kind of see what's going on in there. Let me turn it off a minute. And I'm going to pull in some of that other from the side. All right. Now then. All right. Oops, I set y'all down too low, didn't I? While we're doing that, or while this is doing a little bit, we want to let it go in there and get it really kneaded up good. We're going to get it said to get out 2 bowls. So I got out 2 bowls. It said put a little olive oil in each one to kind of wet the side of the bowl a little bit with it. Maybe just a teaspoon or so. Okay? And take your finger and roll it around in there to get it all wet in there with your olive oil. And they said if it's not warm in your kitchen, and it's not warm in mine, to put this in the oven on the slowest setting for 2 hours until it rises. What I did is this. I've got my oven set on 170, and I fixed to turn it off. Let me go do that right now. And I did it clear. And we turned it off, and then I'm going to, seems like I'm always looking for something. That's not what I want. We're going to turn it off, and that oven's going to be kind of just barely warm in there. And this will make this rise for those 2 hours it's got to rise. Let's see if this says on the recipe how long to do. And let's go over the dough recipe again. Let me just read right here. Let rise for 2 hours. Okay. It said to knead this for 5 minutes. So it hadn't been 5 minutes yet. Looks good. All right. 1 envelope of yeast poured into 1 1/3 cup of warm water. Now it's not hot, it's just good and warm, okay? Then set it aside for 5 minutes. Then take 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose, and I use white lily flour, because it's the best. Take 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1 of sugar. You know, I put in 2 of sugar. My bad. I made a mistake. But the recipe only calls for 1. Maybe mine may be better. Then you want to have a little olive oil, about a couple of tablespoons or something, 1 in each one, to kind of wet around in there. Then put in your herbs. Now, I put basil, oregano, and rosemary. Those were the 3 that I put. But if you want to put something else in yours, well, I'm sure it would be fine if you did that, okay? Stir together the yeast in the warm water and set aside for 5 minutes. In a mixer, in the bowl, add your herbs, your flour, and all that other stuff, and then add your yeast water mixture in there. Somebody's going by outside. I'll just wave to them. I don't know who it is. Let me see. Goodness gracious, let me see who that is. Okay, let me put y'all back in the stand. That was a friend. I saw her passing in the back, but she didn't knock at the door. She just texted me and she said, I left you something. She is the sweetest thing. Her name is Joellen. And I guess she heard I had been sick. I'm not now, but I was. And so she's brought me something. We'll look at it in just a minute and see what it is. All right, so, because I want to get this on in it. All right, so let's clean off our dough hook here. Like that. Oh, goodness. All right. We're going to put half in one and half in the other of these 2 bowls right here. We can figure out how much half of it is. It's good and warm, I know that. And it's supposed to rise, a double in size or whatever. It looks a little bit wet to me. Does it to y'all? Maybe that's how it's supposed to look. I don't know. I've never made it before. This is my first time. You know, I guess on some of those cooking shows, they probably make things ahead of time to see how they're going to turn out. Well, I don't have that kind of time, y'all. I'll let y'all know how it turns out. If it did good, I'll let you know. If it's good, I'll let you know that too. Most of the time, I can kind of tell by a recipe if it's going to be good or not. Just by reading the ingredients and what you do and all that kind of stuff to it. I'm telling you one thing, it's some sticky dough. But we're going to be cooking on 400 degrees. That'll harden it up when we get ready to do our actual pizza. All right, that's all I can get out of there. Look at that, I got a whole pizza stick on my hand. Bread stick, whatever you call them. If y'all got a suggestion on this part, I am open to some advice. It doesn't come off as easy as biscuit dough, I know that. All right, that's all. I'm not doing any more. Let me wash my hands now. Okay, I got my hands clean. Now, here's what you do now. You put a little bit of olive oil on top. And you kind of form it into a little bitty ball here. Like that. Just a little bit. All right. Then we're going to put it in that warm oven. Now, if it was summertime, you can leave it out on your counter if you don't have your air conditioner on. All right. We're supposed to put it in a warm place, and it's supposed to be covered. So let me get out 2 little covering stick things here. We'll see what we got. Here's one. That's clean. We'll cover one with that. And let's see what else I've got back here. Here's something. We don't want to cover it with wrap because that's not a good thing to do. So let's go over here to our oven where I've got it nice and warm. And we're going to open it up and put these in it. I I had it on 175, but I've had the oven off now probably 15 minutes or something like that. And then we'll open this package over here that Joellen brought us. Oh yeah, that's just perfect. All right, we're going to leave this in here for 2 hours. Just let it sit in there. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what Miss Joellen brought us today, because we were under the weather. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Just people just doing sweet little things. Look there, she put a little bow on there. Just took just a regular little brown bag and put a little bow and came over to my house and dropped it off. How precious. This says heat tea. It's warm. I wonder, it looks kind of like a cranberry tea. Let's try some of it. It's already heated. It's warm right now. Let's see about her tea. So good, Joellen. That is hitting the spot, darling. Thank you. Can y'all see down in there? Oh boy. This is a nice treat. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Need to heat. Well, let's see what it is that I'm heating up. Since I'm having pizza in just a few hours, I might save this, whatever it is. Oh, Lord, there's a good old piece of cornbread. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Thank you, Joellen. And let's see what else in here. Oh, my goodness. There's her soup. A big jug of soup, y'all. Isn't this precious? This is what I'm talking about, y'all. That we can do for others. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just a piece of cornbread and some good vegetable soup and some spiced tea. I mean, isn't that darling of her to do that? It is. And I'm going to wrap this back up. Since I'm going to have pizza for supper. And I'll eat this later. That's some good aluminum foil. That stuff's so stiff. You know? There used to be a song, and I hadn't heard this song in years and years and years. And it was just saying something about, I think somebody went to somebody's house and they were hungry or whatever, and she says it could have been the Lord coming to their house. The Lord might have come, and it seemed like it was a religious song. And he was hungry, and the old woman opened the door, and she said, well, sir, all I got is just a cold glass of buttermilk. But she was willing to share that. It's not what we share, it's the spirit that we share it in. It's not that we hug somebody, but how are you hugging them? Out of love or just habit? So that's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. All right, I'm going to finish this good tea, and I may fix me a little more of it. And we're going to let this rise for 2 hours. So it is now 3:30, so 4:30, 5:30. We're going to take it off at 5:30 tonight and make our pizza. In a little bit, though, we're going to put our topping stuff together, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, y'all, the later in the day it gets, the worse I look. But it'll be all right when I get on my good old pajamas tonight. Listen, we're making the topping for the pizza. The dough is still in here. And it's, I just peeked at it, and it's rising up. But here's what you do. You take you a saucepan. You put in a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. A 5-ounce can of tomato paste. All right. Then I'm going to read to you what I've got in this bowl right here. So we'll save a little time. All right, here's what we've got. We've got 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of oregano. let me put these out where y'all kind of, well, I know you're doing all that. You know how to do it. Of oregano. 1 tablespoon of Italian. 2 teaspoons of dried basil. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Not salt, but powder. Onion powder. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Now that's what's actually in here. And we're supposed to put 2 garlic cloves. So we're going to pour this in. Stir it around. And we're going to bring this to a little simmer boil, okay? And let those spices get worked up in there and get our little topping hot. I hope this turns out good. I know it will. All right, let's put it on over here. I'm going to turn it on kind of medium-low till we get this garlic cut up. Here's 2 garlic cloves that I just took the whole thing off the side of it. And we're going to chop these up. And then I'm going to show you some little toppings that I've got to go on it. Now, you can put any kind of topping you want to. I know that Banks, she loves the pineapple on top of hers. I don't like that. She likes pineapple, I think it's bacon. I like more of the Italian flavors on mine. All right, so here's our garlic. I'll cut it up a little bit finer than this. Can y'all see okay? I'm tired today. I'm gonna get in the bed after a while. We're gonna have this supper. Walt and Hannah's coming over, and maybe Bay. I'm not sure about her. We'll have this pizza, because I can't eat a whole pizza by myself, that's for sure. Okay. Let me get that up here. Put it over here. We're gonna heat that up. On a low heat. Let those flavors blend all in there. See how good and thick it is? Let's make a good pizza sauce. All right. Now, what I did is this. I cooked some hilltop sausage, and after I cooked them, whole, like little lengths, I cut them up like this. And yesterday. And that's going to go on top of our pizza. I sliced up a little red peppers to go on top of our pizza. And I fixed to slice up some little mushrooms to go on top of our pizza. I'm going to slice these kind of in circles like this. And then, you could put on whatever you like on top of your pizza. Y'all like mozzarella cheese and all that. So what we're going to do after we get this all spread out is, boy, that's so thick it's blurping. Let me turn it down some more. Goodness gracious. There we go. What was I saying? Y'all remember what I was saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Anyway, we're going to have this pizza. We're going to put this little stuff on top, but you can put on whatever you want to. We're going to cook it on that big old pizza pan over there. And then we're going to, let's see. That's all we need right there, and this. So we got all that done. I'm going to grate a little, I'm going to put mozzarella cheese on mine. But I'm not putting it on right. I'm going to put my pizza in the oven. And when I tell it starts getting ready, and all, and it's bubbling, and the crust is doing good, then I'm going to put some mozzarella on it, and I'm going to put just a little bit of cheddar. I like a little bit, but I like more mozzarella than I do cheddar, okay? So I'm going to just grate just a few little short pieces here of this to put here and there on there. That'll make it taste so good. And then that's it. And then we're going to eat. I didn't make any cold tea tonight because I had that hot tea still left. So I guess we'll have water. That's a plenty. All right, so we're set up. I'm going to let this just simmer in here and all those flavors come together real good. And then we're going to build our pizza in a little bit. Our dough's got to stay in there 30 more minutes. We're supposed to take it off at 5:30, okay? See you in a little bit. Okay, y'all, I think our dough is ready to come out. So, let's make sure we got our olive oil out here. Yep, this is the one that's the one I want. One of them's got garlic in it, and I didn't want that. I wanted the plain one. All right, so remember, I turned my oven on 175, then I turned it off. And I just put it in here, and it's just been in a warm place. These two things of dough. So let's see what they smell so good. They doubled in size, didn't they? They did that, that's for sure. And I've decided, I don't know if both of these go on here because the recipe actually did not say. So I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on there and smear that around a little bit. Just in case it wanted to stick. That'll make it good anyway, won't it? I'm so proud of my new pan. Thank you, Dallas and Anna. Okay. Now, you know what? When my hands got so sticky with this dough today, I decided that I was going to flour them just a little bit. My fingers, and I think that's going to help. So let me get me a little flour out. Just so I'll have something to dip it in. There. Okay. I'm going to do this to him. All right, let's pull it out. Look at that. See how it's just pulling out so easy and pretty? Okay, I'm going to do it again. I don't know why they wanted us to put it in 2 bowls. It didn't actually say. It did not say. So I'm going to spread this around like that. Yeah, I think it's going to take both of them. Boy, this is easy to do when you got your hands kind of floured a little bit. Looks good. I figured this would take a little while, but it's not, is it? It's doing really good. Whoops, I want to fall off. All right, you're supposed to have your oven on 400, so let me do that. I forgot to do that part. All right, it's preheating. It can be preheating while we're putting the goodie on it. I want to make sure it's kind of all the same thickness. Okay? That looks pretty. All right, now we're going to put on our salts. And I've been just letting it simmer. It's on really low. When George and I first married, that's when that Chef Boyardee pizza became popular. That was in a cardboard box. It had all your little cheese and all that stuff in it. I remember buying some of it. And actually, that is what my that's what my biscuit cutter is. That red can that I use to cut biscuits. Well, it's a Chef Boyardee can. Okay, let's smear that around now a little bit like this. like that. We're going to wait on our oven to get hot, and we're going to pop it in. All right. I'm just glad to learn how to make the little crust, because the thing about it is I like breadsticks, so that would be good to have this and just dip it in it. Okay. Let me wipe my hands off here. All right, let's decorate it. Let's take our little sausages and put them here and there on there. I hope I did enough. If you didn't have anything but cheese pizza, it'd be good. Like that. What do y'all like on yours? Some people like anchovies on it. Some people like olives. Banks likes pineapple. William likes a lot of cheese. Isabella likes cheese. If Kate were here, she wouldn't be eating it because she can't have the gluten. All right, let's get the, oh, there's a mushroom I didn't cut up, did I? I guess I forgot, I didn't notice it. Let's put a few mushrooms around on it. That'll be pretty and taste good too. Like that. Y'all are you getting hungry for a big old pizza? Seeing, y'all should, I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. With all those herbs and stuff in it. It just smells really super good. And since this is my first time to make it, I'm going to critique it. In other words, I've got my recipe, and when I make this for the first time, I am going to, I'll know what to change on that recipe. If I think it needs more garlic or less salt or more of this or more of that, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. When I cook something for the first time, I always do that. I always critique it and just kind of decide what I think. All right, there you go. All right, now then, I've got these little red peppers. We'll put a few of those around here and there. If people don't like them tonight, they can pick them off. Bay's bringing a little girlfriend over with her. And then Walt and Hannah will be here, and me. So there'll be 4 of us. We can each eat a 1/4 of a pizza. I doubt if I'll eat a 1/4 of a pizza, but I didn't put hardly any. This pepper, I just cut like maybe a 1/4 of the pepper off. It was a huge pepper. Okay? And I mixed our yellow cheese and our mozzarella. It's on the bottom. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put it on it. I'm going to mix it up good first, so let's do it like this. It's got to cook about 20 minutes, so I don't think that I better put the cheese on at the first. Do y'all? I think we better cook it like this for a while, then pull it back out of the oven, and then put our cheese on it. All right, we're going to let it sit here till this oven gets hot. It'll be a minute. Okay, y'all, let's pop this week's pizza in the oven. I'm not going to put the cheese on it right this second. We're going to pop it in here. It's on 400 degrees. And we're going to let it cook maybe 10 minutes, and then I'm going to check it. It says let it cook about 20, 25 minutes. And then I'm going to check it, and then we'll put our cheese on at the end.